sorry to come only 2 weeks late with what I had to tell in the very beginning. So let's go for that now. So definitely I should have told you in the beginning how we view the whole data analytics program, but in particular I should tell what's the approach to the math courses, the first 5 big ones, and we are through the first 2 of them now. So I will first tell a few sentences about the data analytics as such. So what we want to offer is a general program which will bring you all to real data science, to the ability to work with data in a sophisticated way. And for that we need to also start with some reasonable amount of mathematical concepts and thinking. So this is the content of the first 5 big courses, and I would now focus on those. In particular, the first 2 we are now handling. So what's the mathematics? So I mean, from my perspective, the mathematics is actually equal to 2 things. So the first one is a way of thinking, way of approaching problems, way of discussing the problems, way to formulate the conditions and handle them. And the other option is to understand it as a language. And the historical way of understanding it is rather in the terms of a language, and the whole development of mathematics could be seen as development of this language. But it's not the complete story. But my approach is based on the fact that I strongly believe that the perception of the mathematical concept is very similar to how we learn languages. And therefore, you will see in the courses I will teach a lot of information, too much. We shall be talking about too many things too fast. And I dare to compare it to how a child is learning a language or how an adult is learning a language if it's done the right way. Because how do we learn a language? How are the instructions? So the one possibility is you have the vocabulary plus grammar. And later on, maybe the people start to learn by heart some idioms and understand how to express some emotions, but that's coming much later. And the result is that the ability to speak is very low. The more standard, modern way is just to listen and try to speak. And who cares it's happening with errors? Who cares you are seeing the first dozens of movies with subtitles, understanding only partly? But the brain is capable to get it. And exactly that same way I want to treat mathematics in the courses. So don't be unhappy when you don't understand everything the first way, so the first try. If you feel like my videos are going through too much of the stuff, the book is partly readable, partly not. It's written with that perspective. And therefore we are also using there these kind of emoticons, what we call the pictures, right? So someone thinking harder, somehow being teased by not understanding properly or just working much harder, and so on. These are already more emotional, right? So there could be also others, right? There could be something beautiful or nice, or just you are a bit bored by what's there, but you should be patient. I don't explain the emoticons in the book, but they should be working as switches. And I found out that in my exposition in the first 2 weeks, it wasn't clear where I was at which moment, and also it wasn't clear that I was willingly presenting and sending you to read through too much of the stuff if we wanted to see that you understood and handled everything without any problem, without any mistake, completely. But that's not what I expect, right? And I have been teaching this way earlier, and please be patient and trust us and be happy to swim on the surface with us, to move on. We shall be coming back to all the concepts, all the methods. Everything will be coming again and again, and the more advanced we shall be, the more difficult the things will be, but then also the more focused we shall be on the particular things. But so far, I am in the warm-up. Well, we shall start some more serious stuff. The warm-up is just behind us, right? But the warm-up itself, it looks like touching too many things in too many directions. But the main point of that is just to be more and more used to listen, and from time to time try to speak. And the same concerns also the homeworks. Don't be unhappy you can't handle all the homeworks in one evening, right? Just go through some of the text, have a look. Johannes promised or agreed that, or came up actually with the suggestion that he would always, with the task printed, he would make a link to the section in the textbook where you can find similar things to handle. And also there might be some more straightforward hints, but in particular, your individual synchronized chats which are available, and he will be having more slots each week for you, each week, are there to let you ask, right? So you have the option to come and say, well, so can you give us a hint? And I don't understand this or that. Another thing is that you are of course invited to use whatever you can from the web, including the ChatGPT or other AI chatbots, right? I, for example, asked yesterday, I gave it a try how it looks, so I tried how to get the answer for the second task of the last week homework. And I asked, well, ChatGPT, well, if we should see that all the roots of this polynomial have some property. So can you explain it? And the answer was, already the first answer was relatively feasible and relatively understandable and was correct. So if you ask 3 times a different way, you get 3 answers. And the goal we want to see achieved at your side is not that you come up with everything yourself alone, but to come up with a solution which you understand. So the point is that you understand what the ChatGPT answers. He very often makes errors or says something which is not completely true, or there are gaps in the arguments. So we don't mind if you get help. You can also work together on the homeworks. We don't mind, but each of you should finally understand how the things were solvable. And on top of that, the next homeworks will always contain more tasks, but some of them will be rather of the type of a drill task, not necessary to come with any new idea, no tricks, just follow some algorithms which were explained. And there will be also some which will be requiring some idea, some trick to crack it. And it will be your choice. You are not expected to solve all of them. Whoever solves, say, half of the homeworks would be okay, right? So I hope I have explained how I see the communication, and the thing I really forgot to say in the very beginning. I'm doing it this way already so long, and when you meet the students in the classroom, it's so much easier to communicate, so they understand already the first day, right? And I didn't tell it at all in my first presentations that actually you are not supposed to understand everything at the first try. And so from now on, I will use the very same emoticons as is the book, and they will be hanging in some of the corners of my videos, and they should serve for you also as the switches. So if you see something like this ghost, for example, or this guy or this guy, then perhaps for some of you it will be a switch saying, oh, finally something interesting. And for some of you it will be the message, well, if I skip this, it would be better for now. So you are also not supposed to follow absolutely everything. So that's my message, and the third time I'm sorry not to have told the message in the very beginning. Have a beautiful day, and I will come soon, perhaps tomorrow, with the videos for this week. See you soon on some chat.